everyone. I wanted to just start today with going over a couple things, just because quite a few is not the right word. A few of you are missing some of your assignments from the first module. So I just wanted to double check again that you understand what you should be submitting at this point. So first of all, if I go back to the syllabus link here, if you remember last week, we talked about the updated schedule. So here's the updated schedule for the class. Today in class, we covered the today in class, September 9th, we covered chapter 2, module 2. So we did that together in class, and that's part of the video that I'm posting now for those of you who were not in class today. But really, technically, what I want to talk about is what was due last night. Everything for module 1 should have been completed by last night, or this morning at 11:59 p.m. So if you did not complete that, which would be the SAM training, the end of module project, and so on, all of this should have been turned in by last night. So just to clarify where all that is, in Learning Plan 1, under Learning Plan 1, you should have done all of these items now. Now I just want to just refresh your memory again. This module 1 takes you into the ebook itself for module 1. This is just SAM training. This would take you into the actual SAM training. This would be your end of module project. And all these correspond with all of these steps up here. Here's all the assessment activities, all the things you're supposed to do as far as completing Learning Plan 1. So here it tells you to do SAM training. If you're not quite sure how to do that, here's the video. Here it tells you to do end of module project. Here it tells you to do the SAM project. So on and so on. It tells you to go through and do all of these. So hopefully you have done that. Most of you have. A couple of you have zeros on those. So again, as I mentioned in my video last week and have said in emails before, if you'd like me to reset something, please let me know and I can go in and reset that so that you have a chance to start out the course on a good note. The last thing, and this is the part I wanted to mention, is many of you have not done these. These are separate. This is the review problem that's separate from, you don't do this within the Mind tab. You follow the instructions and then you upload the file right here in Blackboard. So again, the instruction here tells you to watch a video on completing the review assignment, but I'll just show you that here right now. If you have a printed textbook, you would turn to pages 62 and 63. If you don't, then you're going to go into your Mind tab ebook and go to WD1-26A. You're going to work through all those steps, and that's going to give you all the files you need to do these, to turn in the assignments for these 3 drop boxes. So again, to get to this, if you have not turned these in, hopefully you know that, but to double check, you could click on this review drop box, and mine's going to show this. It shows me that it's not turned in because I haven't submitted anything. If you actually have turned this in, you'll see a very different looking screen and you'll see your files attached over here, letting you know that that's been, or kind of giving you that visual clue that you've turned it in already. Okay, so how do you get to this if you haven't done this yet? You need to click on your ebook. Again, if you have an actual textbook, you could turn to these 2 pages in your textbook and it's printed right there. If you don't, you go into your ebook here. And again, I feel like I'm repeating myself. I put this in the video last week as well. I hope you guys are watching this because that's the whole point of these videos, is to help you to better understand what you're supposed to be doing. But if not, here it is again. And actually mine came right to this practice review assignment. Now, if yours doesn't come to this page, you would click on the table of contents right here. And this is, again, giving you kind of the overview of Word Module 1. Again, this is what you should have worked through before you did any of the assignments because this would tell you how to do all of the assignments. But getting back to the practice assignment, this is where you're going to find that. We'll never at any point do case problem 1 or case problem 2. We'll always do the review assignment at the end of each module. So I'm going to click on that. If you would prefer to have this in printed form, just don't forget you can print this out. It would print out multiple pages and you'd have this laid out in front of you to do this on your own. So for this one, you'd start with a blank document and save it as Campos letter. And then you'd go through and you would type up your letter. And then you do the Campos envelope at the end. Then you're going to open the document NPWD1-3. You're going to save it as drinking water. You say to yourself, I wonder where I find that document. That's where you would have downloaded the files within Learning Plan 1. This step right here tells you to click here to download the data files for the class. Once you do that, it's going to download them into a file onto your computer. And you can either go into your downloads folder, or in my case, I have mine saved to my desktop, or not. Just kidding. I think it's in my downloads folder then. Documents folder? Shoot, I thought I had these saved on my desktop. I'm going to go to date modified here. Here we go. Word level 1. So if you haven't done this yet, download that, and I would encourage you to copy this Word level 1 folder to your desktop so that you have access to this folder always. And then you have all the files that you need. Again, when you click on this Word level 1, Word 1 stands for Module 1, Word 2 stands for Module 2, Word 3 stands for Module 3, Word 4 stands for Module 4. In the Word 1 folder, you'd go into the Review folder, because that's what you're working on right now. You're working on the Review assignment. So you'd go into that Review folder, and you would find those files that they're referring to right here. So here's 1-3. It tells you right here, open 1-3, save it as drinking water. When you complete that, you can see in Dropbox 1, you are submitting those first 2 files, Campos letter, Campos envelope. For Review Drops 2, you're submitting the drinking water file. So again, these are all the same file, all the same assignment, but you're just submitting the files separately here. And then you'd go through the drinking water file, and you'd see at the end here, you'd open up 1-4 and save it as July minutes, and then you'd submit that July minutes file here. So if you have not done any of these things, these are late at this point. You know, again, things have been a little confusing between the MindTap and the Blackboard, so I'm happy to give you, not take off the late points. In fact, these 3 boxes here, I grade this myself. It's not through MindTap or Cengage, so it's not graded immediately. I will grade it. So if you turned it in late, I can still give you, it's not automatically taking points off. So just leave me a little note. I didn't realize I missed this, or I just was behind, and I won't take off any points for that being late. Okay, so this is again just one last reminder of what should have been turned in last night, due September 8th at 11:59 p.m. All that should have been turned in. Does not mean you can't do it still. You can do all of these. You have up until I think September 11th to get all these turned in. If for some reason you can't do that, or something happens, I've had a couple students who've had some trouble, send me an email. I can reset it. I've been pretty much up until this point giving people back for their late grades. So please just communicate with me. It's really important to get off on a good foot here, because now we're into Module 2. All of this in Module 1 should be completed by this point. Okay, so this was just a reminder of the schedule, reminder of assignments that you need to be turning in. I'm going to stop this video and start another one, which will go over Module 2.